Welcome to the breakdown recorded July 16th, 2020. This is the show where I break down some interesting topic I found. Could be something happening in the world right now or something I just wanted to let you know about and hopefully help you learn something new. We also take a look at some interesting stories out there from time to time, so make sure to hit that subscribe button and hit that thumbs up if you're new, because that lets YouTube know you enjoy what we do here, which helps us out a lot. Hopefully we can help you learn something new. Now let's dive into it, but if you want any links, anything I talk about, I'll put them in the show notes down below so you can read about them for yourself and let me know what you think. I'll love to hear from you. All right, one of the big stories I want to dive into for today is missing money. I recently discovered that some money was owed to me from an old insurance plan I had. I guess I had a refund coming to me. I had moved, and for some reason, even though we did mail forwarding, it never quite made its way to me. But it turns out there's a website where you can look across multiple states, though most states have their own website, I believe, or at least all the ones I looked at, that helps you do things like find money from CDs, bank accounts, in my case, refunds that never made to me. And by law, if there is, for instance, a insurance return where they're sending you a refund check, and you don't deposit it or you don't claim it or they can't get a hold of you after so much time, they send it to the state. Now, each state has different laws on how this works, but for a period of time you can claim it. Eventually it will become abandoned money and then you lose access to it. For instance, the federal government, if you don't claim a tax refund in 3 years, it becomes the property of the federal government, it goes back into their bank accounts. But the really cool thing here is this missingmoney.com website allows you to search multiple states. Now, if you are somebody who's always lived in Michigan or always lived in Texas or wherever, that may be all you need. But I've lived all over the country and it makes it a lot easier to look in one spot. Now, it will tag it to wherever your address was at the time. For instance, this missing insurance money happened when I lived a very short time in a city, but that's where the money was being returned to. So, if you think you are owed money, definitely check this. But honestly, check it no matter what. I thought it was very interesting. I'd searched for a few family members. Several of them had money come up being owed to them, which was something that none of them even really expected. So that was really cool. Now, millions of dollars out there are owed, and you may have some of it. Now, you have to actually have been owed it to claim it, so it's not like you're going to get those millions if you weren't ever owed millions. But a few things to remember. Requirements to claim the money is different by each state. Some states just need you to prove who you are. Social Security, some other information, a few questions, and it's yours. Others need you to actually prove that you actually did business with that company or you lived at that address and more. Which, if it's recent, may not be a problem, but if it's like a 10-year-old amount of money and they want you to prove some apartment you lived in at one time, that could be a little harder. I mean, I don't know about you, but some of the apartments I lived in when I first moved out, 20 some years ago, are not exactly ones I have a lot of paperwork laying around documenting that, hey, I lived in this apartment for a year and a half before I moved out or something. So keep that in mind. Look up your own state rules. What I liked about this website for missingmoney.com is once you find it, it will link you over to the website for the state or governing officials who hold that money, where you can start the process to claim it. It's 100% free to search, and I wasn't charged anything to make a claim in Michigan for money owed to me. So let me know if you found any unclaimed money, but check this out. Doesn't hurt anything, enter your name, and there you go. All right, let's keep moving on to some other interesting news of the day. Twitter had a major issue last night from when I'm recording this. Twitter's blue check mark verified accounts, which by the way, I struggled to get back when I owned a large news site. Never could get Twitter to verify us, even when Twitter's own staff tried to help request it for us. Just never happened. But those blue check marks actually turned into maybe trouble for some people, as Twitter's blue check mark accounts started tweeting out a scam asking people to send them money, saying, hey, if you send me $1,000, I'll send you twice that. Well, of course, that was a scam happening out there. People weren't really going to return your money. Some pretty high profile accounts, including former presidents, large people like Bill Gates, all had their accounts compromised to tweet out this message. Well, Twitter for a while shut down tweeting from all blue checkmark accounts, leading others like CNN suddenly find themselves unable to tweet, creating alternate accounts so they could do that. But still investigating exactly what happened here. But if you found yourself seeing tweets from celebrities and well-known business executives saying, hey, if you send me $1,000, I'll send you $2,000 back. It wasn't real, but it does seem like a good number of people fell for it, and Twitter is scrambling to figure out exactly what happened. Seems to be either two things. Either they successfully got the logins for all these people, or something in the Twitter account was compromised, or its Twitter system. We'll have to wait and see what happened there. A huge security issue and a huge change. You know, we've seen these before. It would be one or two accounts. This was a massive across the board scam coming up from multiple major Twitter accounts that for some people seemed real enough for them. All right, next up, a couple of interesting stories. Super Mario Brothers, the original video game for the NES, an early edition of it before it became the combo like Duck Hunt, Super Mario Brothers game, and more, set a record for $114,000 out there. That's the most expensive game ever sold at Heritage Auctions. I think it may be one of the most expensive games ever sold. This was a sealed, unopened copy of an early edition of the game, because later on, I think they even had a triple pack where the cartridge had 3 different games. The one I had Duck Hunt and Mario in it. And that's a pretty nice price. So I think you may have some rare video games, especially if they're sealed up. Go dig through your closets. You may be sitting on some money you didn't even know. All right, sad news. The author of the Magic School Bus books has passed away at 75 years old. Joanne Cole, I hope I said that right, passed away recently in New York. Very sad. I loved the TV show, loved the books when I discovered there were books when I was a kid. But the author of the books is who passed away. I'm not exactly sure who was behind the TV show. Leave me a comment, let me know. Who was that did the TV show? All right, are you thinking of getting on TikTok? Are you familiar with the video service that allows people to post short videos? Well, for one girl, it kind of went wrong. She ended up being stuck in a baby swing for 90 minutes as we waited for firefighters in the UK come to rescue a girl who was trying to shoot a video, decided it would be really cool to do it from a baby swing, and couldn't get out. So remember, be careful when you're getting into these video stunts, because sometimes they're hard to get out. And a lot is happening in the world, but a lot has happened in the world in the past. A few interesting things. On this day, Apollo 11 blasted off for the first crew to land on the moon. The United States exploded its first atomic bomb in the desert on this date in 1964. Excuse me, 1969, by the way, is when Apollo. In the Agmera Desert. So this was a testing site, a new one there, that became quite controversial later. And more. Saddam Hussein became president in 1979. And see if there's any other interesting ones. Martha Stewart in 2004 was sentenced to 5 months in prison for insider trading. Or at least reportedly lying about her trades. So kind of a fun, interesting day in history. Let me know. Anything in particular you remember on this day in history? Love to hear from you. All right, so that's it for today. Hopefully I've helped you save some money, learn some interesting things out there. If you're new here, again, do me a big favor. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that thumbs up. I will really appreciate it. It will help us let YouTube know that you enjoy what we do here, which helps us out a lot. Hopefully we can help you learn something new. Now, next week, just to give you a heads up, Tuesday video will be like normal, but then I'm going out of town for a little over a week, so I'm going to be doing some pre-recorded videos. I'm going to be doing some videos from the road, but bear with me for about a week as I do a little bit of traveling. I have a few things I have to take care of as we close up shop down in our old home in Texas, get that sold, get that closed, Fortunately, sometimes it means you actually have to be there to finish some repairs and do a few things. So bear with me as I do some traveling. Hopefully in that time we'll be able to get this studio a little set up. A lot of people have been asking about live shows. I do intend to restart doing live shows in August when I get back for my Texas trip. I'm going to set it up. We're going to do some live shows, have some fun. If you haven't been in one of our live shows, we chat, we look at fun stories, and we overall just have a really great time. So keep that in mind. New live shows coming back in August. Lastly, if you want to help out children, so there's an organization called Child's Play, which brings games and toys into children's hospitals, which right now is more important than ever. Well, they need some funds, and there's a marathon going to come up here in a little over a week called Mario Marathon, where they'll be playing video games to raise money for Child's Play to bring toys and more to local hospitals. So check that out. I'll put a link to Mario Marathon in the show notes down below if you want to donate and help them raise money for kids out there. So check that all out. I appreciate your support. I hope you have a fantastic weekend. I hope you're going to be safe. Take care, everybody. And thank you for your support.